Welcome to the Gratitude Cafe, positive radio to feed your soul. Your dynamic host and founder, Sue Lundquist, will bring you her own intuitive talents and gifts for co-creating, healing, and teaching. Her show, The Gratitude Cafe, positive radio to feed your soul, is focused on bringing you to a higher place each week where you can leave the hustle of life at the door. So pull up a chair and join us for The Gratitude Cafe, positive radio to feed your soul.
Right there when you need her, Benny Bopalooney. Oh, that's a new one.
No, it's not.
No? Have I used that before?
No, but I don't know if I like it.
I don't know that I like it either. But hi, Benny.
Babaloo. I feel like Babalooey.
Babalooey? Is there a song? There's got to be a song.
Yeah, I know. It's just not triggering anything.
No. Hi.
Hi. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Oh, this is Goofy Fun Day. It is Tuesday, and yes, it's Super Sue. Super Sue in the house. Benny asked me where I got this awesome nickname, Super Sue.
I don't know. Where did you get the super cool nickname you have there?
Isn't that super cool? Super Sue is from the events that I've been doing with Dr. Joe Dispenza.
I can see where that comes from. Then.
And I love it. I'm like, I get so much love, and I get to give love and be of service to all of you. I'm talking about Dr. Joe Dispenza. You've heard him on my radio show, but I have to tell you about our last event, or his last event in Vancouver. It was the first week long of 2019, and I was again blessed to be a team leader. Actually, I was part of the activity team, and there was 5 of us, including Cass, who ran the whole thing. Basically, she set it all up. And it was absolutely magical. So many people changing lives, so many people going to their edge and healing themselves. It was just amazing. Dr. Joe and his team and all of us team leaders and activity leaders, we just love it. Love it, love it, love it. Love the work that you're doing. Keep doing it. And thank you for shining your light. So bright, Dr. Joe. And, of course, all the team leaders, because it takes a team. And the Acephalon staff. So if you want more information, I highly recommend you going to drjoedispenza.com and looking at the events. He's got a ton of free information on YouTube, interviews. You've heard him here on my show. I highly recommend going and checking it out. I told a good friend of mine, I'm jumping right in, and I'm sorry, Benny, I sound kind of froggy, don't I? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
My body's,
a little bit of
my body's or my nose has got something going on, but bear with me here. So David LeClaire, you guys have heard me talk about him. It's been a while, but he has got the Cab Classic, and it's the 9th annual grand tasting of Washington's premier cabs. Ooh, me loves a good cab. Where is it going to be happening this year? It's going to be at the Bellevue Porsche. The date is March 2nd. I'm absolutely going. Actually, Dan Mangana and myself, we're going to go, and wouldn't that be fun? You want to go?
So I
sit
think
in
there's a lot
Porsche?
going on with what you're describing. So there's a wine, cabs. That's what she means by cabs. And
Cabernet.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Because you said it so fast, I'm like, what does she mean? Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
You just so fluent with
know,
it. It's
I'm
something that you just enjoy and love. It's fine,
yes.
and it's at the Porsche dealership. Is this where
Yes,
you're getting it?
Porsche Bellevue.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. So go to
The venue.
The venue.
Okay.
Thank you, darling. 9th annual venue, by the way. It's going to be super good. It's the Cabernet Classic, 9th annual, and it's at the Porsche Bellevue location, and you can get your tickets at strangertickets.com. Come on, you guys. I don't know about you. We've got cabin fever with all the snow, and we were locked in. We lost power, and we still have
I'm sure a lot of wine was consumed then.
You know, I was talking to somebody. I said, wonder what's going to happen in 9 months.
Right.
A lot of people stuck in their houses. Okay, I've got so much. I feel like I've been gone for so long. What, Benny?
I took it on the other side of 9 months. After this last week, then 9 months from now,
well,
there might be a lot of babies.
Might be a lot of babies.
Okay.
Well, we were on the same page.
Oh, good.
Might be a lot of babies.
I guess I just didn't follow that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just got warm in here.
I did. Oh, I'm sure Petra's going, what in the world did I get myself into?
Petra
Oh, God, that sounds so sexy when you say it. Will you say the full name, please?
Brzović.
Oh, do you love how his accent is?
I probably still messed it up too.
No, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. We're going to bring her on in just a minute. We've got a fantastic show. And in fact, Petra and I met at Dr. Joe Dispenza's events, and we have been blessed with being a team leader. So I got to know her, and I'm going to get to know her even more. And we're going to talk about unconditional love and her practice and the mind-body medicine that she does in her private practice. But before we get started, I want to remind you guys, you've been asking about my Craziness to Clarity Challenge, when the next one is. Well, I cleared my calendar for May, and boom, that's when it's going to be. I felt like I needed to do my own drum roll, but there we go. Craziness to Clarity. It's your template for transformation. It's going to be happening starting May 1. Right now is the sale price. So literally it's under $50. It's like $49. And I haven't determined what the date is going to be. It's probably going to be March 1st of when that price goes up. So if you want to get on the Craziness to Clarity live, please do so. We're changing lives. It's absolutely so... I mean, I'm losing my train of thought here. But let me back up. So if you want literally more vitality, more abundance, and confidence in your life, and you really have been searching, I think I blended search and something. I did a suism. If you've been searching real life practical tools, not just wisdoms, not just fluff, real life tools that you can apply in your life now, that's what you're going to get at the Craziness to Clarity Challenge with me, your bridge coach. So go to SueLundquist.com/challenge. You can find all that information on Facebook. I'm posting, I'm Twittering, all of that. And also, it doesn't have to be difficult to be effective, you guys. In fact, the simplicity itself makes it super, super highly effective. And that's why I do it, because we are always, there's so many of us that are in fight or flight, and there's so many of us that are constantly bombarded with information. And this is really simple, practical, real-life tools that will evolve with you, and they're really, really powerful. So before we get started, and I bring Petra on.
Good.
Oh, did I kind of have an art?
We can ask her.
We'll ask her in a minute. All right, I got to tell you about another superstar, Josh Parkinson with Resonate brand. Resonate helps you build beautiful mobile-friendly websites, but more importantly, they help you build a web strategy that helps your business attract new customers, grow a following, and get higher in the search listings. And if you want to create an online course or membership that sells automatically without you lifting a finger, they can help you build and sell that too. So please contact Resonate Web Leadership for a free consult and see what options they have for you. That is your go-to action step. Please go to resonateweb.agency and tell Josh that you heard about him and his team right here on the Gratitude Cafe, or from Sue Lundquist, a.k.a. Super Sue, to all of my tribe in Vancouver. You know what, Benny? I've really got a shout out to the beautiful Vancouver, Canada. I mean, I'm just so in love with that city. It is absolutely beautiful. And the
nice
people,
little city we have up there.
Oh, it's so beautiful. And for those of you international listening to us, we're in, obviously, the Pacific Northwest, but literally I drive 2.5 hours and I'm in Vancouver, and it's so beautiful. I love it, love it, love it. So thank you for hosting Dr. Joe's event, and hopefully we'll get back there soon. I know that I've got some people that I'm going to be personally working with. So if you're in Vancouver and listening, we're going to be doing some workshops and mini speaking gigs. That is super exciting. I've got some events lining up. I've got one in Park City, Utah. There's Colorado, potentially one in Spain for my Craziness to Clarity that I'm taking on the road for transformational travel. So if any of that interests you, if you're going to be anywhere in those cities, I'm going to be launching some more information. Just go to SueLundquist.com/newsletter and make sure that you get a copy of the show and you stay in the now. All right, Benny, I'm going to ask you to say that beautiful name. Come on.
Petra Brzović.
Yes. Isn't
Did I
that
get it?
Sexy?
Petra, did I get it?
You're almost there.
Oh!
That's better.
That is
I
way
appreciate
better
that.
than I can
You
do
should have
it.
heard us in the beginning.
Oh,
very
my
beginning.
goodness.
I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
All right, love. Welcome to the show. Let me do the formal introduction and introduce you to my people and my audience, and then we want to hear your story and just kind of get some background about you. So Petra is known as an intuitive therapist with strong background in many fields she's certified in. Her classes and workshops are a result of her long-term experience in working as a therapist and a yoga teacher. They represent a fusion of various healing techniques, which makes them unique, intuitive, and liberating. Oh, I love that, and liberating. That's my word for this year, Petra, is liberation. Petra is
exactly.
I love it. Petra is engaged in newest body-mind medicine discoveries, and with an international team of scientists, she is running research on brain, mind, body, and soul connection, consciousness, and healing. She participates and lectures at conferences, trainings, workshops, and retreats around the world. Petra shares her knowledge through online courses, masterclasses, and School of Personal Change, which is Create Your New Self. She is a member of AICT, International Association of Counselors and Therapists, a member of Educational Committee of the Michael Newton Institute, and I am super, super excited to bring her on the Gratitude Cafe. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited. So, okay, I do the formal introduction, but I want my audience to get to know you. Can you please tell us your backstory, and then we're going to jump into some juicy love talk.
My backstory? Well,
yes.
apart from what you mentioned, I'm just a girl who had her share of life experience and learned my lessons in a hard way. And I just want to help people to not repeat the same mistakes I did. So that's why I started learning what I was learning in previous years. Then I changed my career completely, and I'm in this field now. So basically, I help people heal or transform their lives in the right, there's not only one right way, but one of the more easiest ways.
But people are going to notice you have a very strong accent, love. Can we?
Yes,
I do. Where are you from?
I'm from Croatia.
Oh.
Where we have those R's in our names and surnames.
Oh, Benny's so excited. You should see him over here. He's just like a little kid. Do you need to say her name again, Benny? I'd like to hear you say it.
No, I'm good for it. I've had enough.
Come on, Benny. We like you
Petra
saying my name.
Brzović.
Oh, I love it.
But I think it's with more of an O.
It's like Brzovic.
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 Yes.
There it is, Brzovic.
Yes.
Brzovic.
That's good, Benny. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Good job.
Oh, Benny's so proud. I'm so proud of him, too. I get a little A for effort here. Brzovic.
Good job, Sue.
Ah, there we go.
You finally,
I did it. All right. So enough with names and Croatia, which, by the way, is on my to-do list. And the reason I was asking about your backstory is just, to have a quite honest conversation about it. And I think, and honestly, Petra, I think you would agree, we are here, to teach people what we most need to learn. And I'm with you on that. My own personal journey to where I'm at today has gotten me to teach what I'm teaching. And you can teach it from a different empathic, compassionate point of view. Would you agree?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm so grateful for all my lessons, for all hardest parts of my life, because they really taught me what I know today, and I can really feel my clients and my students. I really know what they're going through. So there's a huge difference from learning something from books or seminars or whatever, masterclasses, or really experiencing that, going through that pain or whatever you're going through, and then growing out from there, and then you can really feel and know how to help other people.
I would agree with that. Go ahead.
And we are still learning, right?
Yes.
This ongoing journey, the learning never stops. So it's just bring it on.
Yeah.
We just know the tools.
Now we know the tools to have a little bit more grace and ease, right?
Exactly.
Grace and ease as we transform across the proverbial bridge. Let's jump into unconditional love. Will you define that, and let's have a conversation about that?
Sure. Well, love was one of my greatest lessons, and still is. I think that love teaches us so much, and because it really reflects whatever is going inside of us, and really brings up to the surface whatever we need to work on. And it clearly shows us where our weak points and what is there to heal. And I think that unconditional love, it's so easily to say, oh yeah, I love somebody unconditional. I'm not talking about loving your kids or or even pets, which are the easiest
yes.
beings to love. But I'm saying about really being in a romantic relationship or falling in love with somebody and saying that you love that person unconditionally, because it's really challenging. And I think it really shows us what is there to work on. Because whether we want it or not, really being in relationships triggers us exactly where we need to be triggered.
Yes.
So I think it really turns us back to ourselves and to being aware that love starts from inside, and that if we love ourselves really deeply and we work on self-love, which is an ongoing process as well, we can be in a healthy relationship.
Oh, I totally agree. You first have to do your own inner work. You know, if like you're talking about the unconditional love and having somebody in your life that is a couple in that kind of atmosphere, they are going to bring up some of your darkest sides and mirror for you, and vice versa. Then, you know, the worthiness, the not good enough, you know, handsome,
Exactly.
beautiful, smart, all of that. How do we walk through that? How do we gain an opportunity through compassion and learning?
Well, I would just say that we need to be brave and self-loving all the time, just really, and keep on checking up on ourselves all the time, like being aware of how we are feeling, how are we acting, what thoughts are coming when we are entering in a relationship, because every moment will bring another layer up. So the further we go in a relationship, there'll be something more to learn, and we really risk to be seen and to be open and vulnerable, and that can be quite challenging, right? So just be brave and go step by step and learn and trust. I think we all need to trust.
Oh, trust in self and trust in the other person. You spoke to the word vulnerability, and I think creating a safe environment within that coupled relationship is fundamental. Because if you can't be vulnerable or feel safe in that environment, it's going to be really hard for you to open up. Would you agree?
Yes, completely. And then again, every person brings his hurt or her hurt into the relationship, right? We come with package with a burden from before, and we all need to be okay with that and to understand that we are all perfect in our imperfection, and that we are all work in progress, and that we should just work on it together, and that literally we'll be triggering each other all the time. But that's why we're here together, to learn and to grow. So yes, trust. Patience.
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 Yes.
Dedication. Love. Yeah.
Yes. And allowing the safety, the vulnerability. You said perfect
Exactly.
in our own imperfection. I love that quote. I love it, love it, love it. Because I feel that there's no such thing as perfect. It's just perfect effort and what you know at that time, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right. We are always doing our best. So there's no use to turning back and seeing or looking for what we could have done better or what we did wrong. We just did the best we could in that moment, right? So
and really
we are
owning
now
that.
here.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
owning that moment. Listen, you know, I want you to really hear what Petra just said, because you are doing what you know to be your truth and what is best for you right now. And this whole beating yourself up and shaming yourself, or the other person shaming you because you're not showing up the way you should be showing up, that's not what we're talking about. Just simply honor where you're at right now. You guys have heard me say this, a Suism, which is the CCs in life, and that's compassionate curiosity for yourself and the journey, what's happening right now. And and Petra, this is such a valuable conversation of self-love, and I think it comes at a valuable time now, especially with everything that's happening in the world. I would like to offer some more wisdom, some more tools for our audience to be able to acquire that self-love. Can you give some goodies to that? Like acquiring, like what you do in your practice to help them get to unconditional love, or what maybe you have done to sustain love within yourself.
Okay, well, first of all, just to accept what you were saying now, that we are just perfect the way we are, and that if we are allowing ourselves to make mistakes and learn from them, then it's okay. It's okay to learn mistakes. People often feel that they are really unworthy because they are doing something wrong or they did something wrong. But actually, if we do a mistake, which is normal, we all do mistakes, but learn from them, then it's okay. And if we treat ourselves as we would treat our best friend or our kid or somebody we truly love, then we can really start loving ourselves and be gentle towards ourselves and build this relationship with ourselves. And therefore, we won't need other people to trigger things that we need to work on, like feeling not good enough or unworthy or whatever.
All of that icky baggage.
All
that
of that. Yeah.
Well, let's have a conversation about that, because there are people, and I work with this in my coaching practice as well, and it comes up in my Craziness Clarity questions. If you are in an interaction and we all choose to learn from the mistakes that you were just talking about, Petra, what if the other party is not engaging, not learning from those mistakes, choosing not to engage, choosing not to learn, choosing not to expand?
Yeah, it's their choice. We cannot change other people. We can only accept that it's the way it is. They have their capacity in this particular moment, and it just has to do with their current capacities and what they carry inside of them, and what are they dealing with, and what are they learning now in their life, and how ready and capable they are to be able to change.
That's so valuable, because and we talk about this because there's people that have been in, long relationships, and one party's expanding, the other one's not. And you notice I use the word expanding. It's not that they're any bigger, better, or greater. It's just that you are expanding, you are evolving, and things that were important to you, whether it was a mindset or, social accolades, just don't seem to be as important to you emotionally. And if you are in a relationship, a long-term relationship with that person, what do you do? And how long are you patient for? I'd love to have that conversation so the audience would at least hear us having that conversation.
Well, I think it's really unique and individual, and there's no simple recipe that you can say, oh, you have to do this, this, and this.
Yes.
Really, because we as people, we are so complex, and yes. it requires for us to be honest with ourselves, and then honest with the other person, and talk and share our insecurities, share how we feel, and then just make an agreement. If that other person cannot move or doesn't want to move or expand, it's okay. We cannot pursue that person to do so. And if that person feels that if he or she is in a situation where he or she feels that if they would do anything to move or change current circumstances, they would fall into pieces, there's nothing we can do to persuade them to do so. And yeah, we can be there, love them unconditionally, right? Support them. But that doesn't mean that we need to stay in a relationship with them, in a loving relationship, like being in a couple.
Intimate relationship, right?
Intimate relationship, yeah. We can still love that person.
And then, go ahead, Petra.
No, I'm just saying that sometimes we continue loving somebody, but we feel that it's time to change the way the relationship looks like, and to set ourselves or that person free, which doesn't mean that we don't love that person anymore. We just honor and respect their wishes. If they don't want to grow or expand with us anymore, it's okay. Although it's extremely painful to accept that if we truly love that person, right? But then again, if we truly love that person unconditionally, we should be okay with that. So that's the biggest learning. That means to unconditionally love, to love that person just the way he or she is, which is like the greatest lesson of love.
And then also turning that back on yourself and saying, at one point, do I have to make the choice of self-love? Because you don't want to get within that relationship. You don't want to get to a point where it's, well, you're not doing this for me, you're not doing this for me. And it's this just vicious circle of ickiness. It becomes kind of like a cancer. And you're the other party's showing up in an icky way, and you know that they're better. You know that you're better, that, you can show up in a better manner. And it is, just like you said, to honor and respect their wishes, even if they can't expand, or they don't have the capacity, or they want to expand or grow. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Petra And we're going to keep talking about love. We're going to talk about, I don't know, more love, unconditional love, maybe some self-sabotaging behaviors. We'll talk about it at the break, and we'll come back in just a few minutes. Sue Lundquist here with the Gratitude Cafe. We'll be right back.
Social Security is with you through life's journey, from birth to retirement. As your life changes year to year, so do your needs. For over 80 years, Social Security has helped to meet your needs and is committed to improving access to the services that make a difference in your life. Today, you can verify your earnings, estimate your future benefits, apply for retirement, manage your benefits, and even change your address, all from the comfort of your home. Social Security's online services help put you in control with secure access to your information anytime, anywhere, allowing you to spend more time with family, friends, or simply just enjoying the day. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow. See what you can do online at socialsecurity.gov.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Alternative Talk 1150. We're on your radio at 1150 a.m. We're on your HD radio at 98.9 Channel 3.
So many ways to listen.
We're on the web at 1150kknw.com, streaming live audio and video as well as MP3 archives of many of our shows.
So many ways to listen.
And now, we're on your smartphone or tablet. Download our free app in the Apple App Store or Google Play and take Alternative Talk 1150 anywhere you go.
So many ways to listen.
Hi, this is Dr. Joe Dispenza. I wanted to take a moment and let you know about a nonprofit organization called Give to Give. The Give to Give Foundation was created by a group of people who have studied my work or have participated in my workshops around the world. And by applying the principles of mind over matter and the mind-body connection, they've created outstanding changes in their lives or in their health, and they wanted to give back. The organization is dedicated to providing the proper resources to those people in need to gain the opportunity to learn exactly how to change their body or their lives. If you want to learn more about the Give to Give Foundation, or you know someone that needs help, or you simply want to make a donation, visit givetogive.com. Those who give don't always know how to love. Those who love always know how to give. Thank you.
Following the herd is fine until they lead you off a cliff. Think for yourself. Alternative Talk, 1150 a.m.
Perfect. Love is a battlefield. Benny, you're awesome. All right, guys. Isn't that awesome, Petra? I love it.
Benny, you're rocking with us.
Thank you, Petra.
Oh, he just likes you should see how proud he is when he says that. Oh, Benny, it's so cute. He's just like, Petra? Did I kind of roll it?
You did just fine.
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay.
You're getting it.
All right. So we are talking about unconditional love for yourself first and foremost. And my beautiful guest is Petra. And I want to remind you of her website. Now I'm going to spell it all out, guys, because we have a bit of a Croatian spelling and the whole accent. But it is PetraBrzovic.com. And the reason I'm telling you this is because she is launching in March a masterclass. And simply go to her website, PetraBrzovic.com, and pull down or go to the events page, and it's in the March masterclass. Petra, why don't you tell us a little bit about that, and then we're going to jump into more about, let's talk about guilt and self-sabotage and all those other things we need to be aware of in our conversation about love today.
Okay, so this masterclass is starting on the 1st of March, and it actually consists of an introductory lecture that explains the first steps that we can immediately make, and a 5-day challenge that help people to get in touch with themselves. So we'll just learn about the power of the mind, our thoughts, our beliefs with which we create our lives, and we'll understand the basic mistakes that we all do and how to correct them, how to be aware, and thus move into the right direction. So I will explain in details the key aspects of life on which we can all begin to work and how to properly fulfill them with new supportive thoughts and habits. And I'll also explain the basic concepts of meditation. We'll talk about emotions, about all these that you mentioned now, the fear, the guilt, the shame, and how to work with that, what to do with that. And we'll just dive into beliefs, emotions, and start what we can do, and then we'll proceed with this 5-day challenge. So yeah,
powerful.
It's a great masterclass. We had so much fun filming it, and you could see the video that Marina cut out all the funny parts, which
the blooper reel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. All right, guys. So go to Petra's website. I'm going to spell it again for you, but of course it's going to be on my website. It will be on the newsletter, and it is blasted all over my social media. But here we go. PetraBrzovic.com. All right, guys, we're going to jump in, and we've been talking about self-love, what that looks like, what happens in a intimate relationship when you're expanding and the other person is choosing not to, that they're for a multitude of reasons, their own fear, they're quite honestly, they're not ready to evolve. They have their own capacity for where they're at right now. Petra and I have been talking about being honest with yourself. These are some superpower tips and tools that you can be asking yourself or your partner and getting really honest with yourself. Share that information and create an agreement that you both can come to an agreement with. And if that other person doesn't want to move, then you know what? Then that's a different conversation that you need to have with yourself and have that in self-love as well. And how are you going to support yourself, and how are you going to create a loving environment for yourself if the other person is just simply not ready, not willing? And that's tough, Petra. That's really, really tough, especially when you've spent years and years with this individual and you still love them, and you've built family, you've built, memories, you've built culture. And we've talked about this in my Craziness to Clarity teaching, and it's so profound. But there's at some point you have to make the choice, if not for yourself, but for both of you, because the other person's not willing to move.
Exactly. It's so tough. I mean, I know it. I'm the first one who knows that. So it really is tough. Yeah. I mean,
go ahead, love.
No, I just wanted to say, I mean, relationships are really, as Benny showed us with his choice of music, Battlefield. I mean, they really bring out everything what we carry inside, both of us, both parties. And it's up to us to be really aware and conscious and do our best every day to work through love and to act through respect and love towards ourselves and the other person. And to also be aware of the mirroring, and that we are in a relationship with a particular person for a reason, and that person is just showing us what is there inside of us that we need to heal. So when we start blaming other person or saying, oh, he's like this, or he's doing that, or she's not listening to me, whatever, we need to turn back inward and ask ourselves, so what is this situation teaching me? Why am I creating this situation? What do I need to learn from here?
Ooh, that's so powerful. That way, I got to stop with the audience here, because they're like going, oh, that's juicy. Because that mirrored, because that's superpower tips right there, guys. These are your practical tools. That mirroring. So what Petra was talking about is what is showing up in that situation. What is it that I or you need to learn? So if you're asking something of that other person, there's a couple things here. Make sure you're doing that as well. So if you're asking somebody to create a safe environment so you can be vulnerable, you need to show up and do that for the other person and yourself as well. But also, I love what you were just talking about, Petra, because that mirror aspect, what is it in this moment, in this situation that I most need to learn? And really creating compassionate curiosity, the CCs in life, for you and the other person, because having compassion and then getting really curious about the situation takes that sting, that, you know, that potential sting or that hurt that could be coming up, and just honestly have compassion for yourself and the other person and get real curious. What do you think of that?
That's really what it is about, because we created for some reason that relationship and that situation that's coming up for us now, right? So, okay, a new learning now. Let's see what I have to learn. Why is this coming up? What is it teaching me? How do I really feel? How does his or her actions or reactions make me feel? Okay, so what is there inside that I need to heal? Because if I would be healed in that part, I wouldn't be needed to get triggered by the other person, right? If I wouldn't have a part of me, okay.
Say that again, love. Say that again, because that was super
I'll give
powerful.
An example.
Yeah.
So if, for example, if I wouldn't be feeling not good enough, I wouldn't create situations in which other people would treat me in a way to confirm that I'm not good enough.
Did you guys catch that? So if you are in, this is really powerful, and this is that little slippery awareness. So if you, like many of us, are unconscious and going in our state of being that is unconscious, which is a lot of people because you're bombarded with things, emotions, electronics. I mean, there's so much that I could talk about. And there's diet, not diet to lose weight, but what you're putting in that beautiful vessel of your body. There's sugars, there's all kinds of things. What is happening? You've got to have that heightened awareness. And what Petra is saying, you know, if you are being triggered in that situation, you're taking responsibility and accountability for that moment because you have created it. And Petra, I think that's a really good conversation to have, because people are probably going to be thinking, what do you mean I just created that? That stinks. And then they go into victimhood, which I've done. I'm sure you've
Oh, tell me about it.
Oh my God. Because you go into victimhood going, what the heck? Are you kidding me? I created that. I don't want why you're doing that to me. We spin out in that so often. But yes, if you can stand in your personal power, in your self-love, what Petra was just talking about, what we've been talking about for this, 40 odd minutes, is really owning that self-love and getting really curious. And if somebody is triggering you about that not good enough, not feeling safe, really take a look at that and see how to, is conquer the right word, or conquer that fear, or what's the word I'm looking for, Petra? Maybe
I would say heal, because it's really coming.
Yeah.
It's really coming from deep, deep parts of us. Really, we are carrying so many unconscious beliefs and emotions deep inside of us that we just are not aware of them. And so that's why we should cherish all these situations, because they show us where we need to go to heal.
Where we need to go to heal.
Inward.
Inward. I know, self-love. What about that victimhood and that self-sabotage and all that guilt?
Oh, yeah. I mean, first of all, being a victim, I've been there for so long, and it's so easy to be there because you can blame other people for everything that's happening or not happening in your life, right?
Yes, of course. Heaven forbid I take accountability.
Yeah.
Yes, easier.
But we don't realize actually that by doing that, we give our power away.
Yep.
And we are just powerless and spinning in circles and not moving anywhere. So the moment we choose to take responsibility for whatever is happening or not happening in our lives, we are taking our power back. And then we can make a choice. What are we going to do now? Am I staying in this relationship? Am I going to work on that? Is this relationship good for me? What is my part of making the situation the way it is? How can I make it better? Or it's really unhealthy for me and I should move.
Did you guys hear that? Superpower tips. Those questions, because we're talking about victimhood. Victimhood is, honestly, you're giving your power away. So if you're finding situations that you're being triggered and you truly are feeling as a victim, and Petra and I both say this with absolute love from people that have walked the talk. We're still walking the talk.
Oh, yes.
Oh, totally. I mean, it's a daily thing because you're like, oh, I slipped into victimhood. Well, wasn't that easy? Nope. Let's change. Let's heal. Right? So that was the superpower tips. Really look at your accountability in the situation. What is my part? How do I choose to show up in this situation? Do you have another one? Another question, Petra? It was accountability. What is my part in this situation? What was the other one?
What am I learning and what am I going to do from now on?
Yes.
Then we have the choice. We always have the choice, but we tend to think so easily that we don't have a choice. And we often say, oh, I cannot do anything. I don't have a choice here.
Well, that's the spin out victimhood.
Always have the choice. Always, in every moment.
Every moment. But that's the spin out. That's the old habit. That's the old neural pathway of victimhood, because it's become our norm. And I think that right there is really powerful, you guys. The spin out in victimhood is your norm. That has become your norm. That's how it's what I said. It's become your norm. So changing that neural pathway, changing that old habit is going to take the peeling of the proverbial onion and looking and being aware and staying in hyper awareness and accountability and really looking at those triggers. Whether it's, if you're, like Petra was saying, if you're coming up against not being good enough, because you are creating that. If you don't feel good enough, outwardly, things around you, situations, conversations are going to confirm that. Did I articulate that, Petra?
Exactly. Yes.
Dag nabbit, I don't want any of that confirmation. I don't want that.
Exactly.
I am
done
good
with
enough. Yes. No more guilt, no more shame. No more self-sabotage, getting so clear. I love this conversation, Petra. I love it. And I should just have you part of that 16-day challenge, because it's all a part of this exact conversation. But I don't know about you, but and we've talked briefly about Dr. Joe's work and mine. We've both witnessed people healing themselves of cancers and all that, but it's all personal work. Mine was internal. My work is I label it as post-traumatic stress, only as and anxiety and worthiness and all kinds of mommy issues, daddy issues, abandonment issues, and all of that stuff, right? And I'm telling you that only as like an adjective to describe the stuff that's happened to me. I truly know that those situations were put in front of me for a reason, and it built me to who I am now, and it will continue to keep building me, right? But I've lost my train of thought where I was going with this. I guess with Dr. Joe's work and the work that we're doing, it is so powerful and scary. It's not easy, but it can be done to really check in and acquire the real life practical tools that you can regain your power, regain your confidence, and your vitality for life. There's so much power in you making empowered choices. Right?
Yes. Right. Yes.
No more to guilt. Yes. No more to self-sabotage. No more. What are some of the basic mistakes that we make? I know we've kind of been jumping around a little bit talking about that stuff, but you were talking about your masterclass that's coming up in March, and you'll be discussing some of those basic mistakes. Can you kind of articulate that a little bit here?
Yeah, sure. Okay. I mean, most often what happens is actually because we don't have healthy boundaries, we search for love outside. So if we came into this world feeling unloved or unprotected, unsafe, unconsciously we will continue craving and searching for that comfort and love and safety outside of us. And if we don't work on ourselves and work on building our boundaries, and working on feeling safe and secure right here, right now, and feeling worthy and good enough, we will go over our boundaries all the way out, trying to get that from other people, and other people cannot give that to us. They can't. And then we would just continue getting disappointed again and again and again, and it has nothing to do with them. Again, it's just our lesson to turn inwards and to dive in and work on feeling safe and secure and loved inside first.
Oh, girl, that's beautiful, because and the audience has heard me say this. I am a recovering people pleaser. Mm-hmm. I know that, and I briefly told you about my backstory, but just like many people, and not having the boundaries but also even prior to that, because of the experiences and the hurdles, I didn't know what boundaries were. I didn't know what self-love was. I didn't know how to value myself. I think that should be a moral compass class with children and parents, don't you?
Yes.
Oh, it's so important.
Completely.
Yes.
Completely. Yeah.
Because we do.
And I think most of us are that way. They're really. I think more of us came into the world that way than feeling super secure and safe.
Yes. Yes. So.
And it's okay.
Yeah, and that's okay. Now you have the tools. You've got the tools to create that safety within yourself versus looking outwardly, correct, Petra?
Yes. Completely.
Yes. Beliefs and emotions. Do you want to talk about beliefs and emotions?
Well, yeah, it's just about what we were just saying, right? If we believe deep inside that, for example, world is not a safe place to be in, or I'm not worthy of love, or I'll never be in a relationship, or I cannot be loved, or I'll never have the job that I want, then our circumstances, our life, or universe will just keep on confirming that belief, right?
Oh,
and
no, ew.
So again, it all comes back to being really self-aware every day, aware of what we are thinking, aware of our belief patterns, aware how we are feeling, and just working through them. Just, for example, using meditation. I think meditation that both of us, you and me, are really using as an amazing tool that will help us create the lives that we want to live, right?
Oh, yes.
It's the number one tool, because it really helps you to get in contact with yourself and to center yourself every day, and then from that point create your life. And until we turn inwards, we cannot be clear on what we have to work on and where do we want to go. So yeah, taking time for ourselves every day is one of the number one steps. Again, it's not about being selfish. It's just about doing the best thing for ourselves and people who we love around us.
Oh, absolutely. It's the same analogy. Put the oxygen mask on first.
Exactly.
You have to. And it's not a selfish act. It is you being of self-care to yourself. I mean, and we could go into this whole conversation about narcissistic behaviors, but that's above and beyond. So if you have that in that's actually a good conversation. What if people keep showing up as narcissists in your life?
Oh, I've been there as well.
Oh, well, what is that? What is that confirming in your life if you've got narcissists?
Just learning to teach me to love myself again.
Wow.
Because it's just one of the biggest lessons, because they really unconsciously find your trigger points, and they really make you believe that what they're saying or doing is the right thing, right? And you start thinking that you're crazy, or that you're not good enough, or that you're whatever. And you start losing your self-confidence and just going down and down and down in this spiral. And luckily, for myself, I got really ill at one point. And it was a choice of life and death. And that really woke me up. And I decided to change my life. But I was living like that for years. I was just trusting somebody else. Who am I? How worthy or unworthy I am, or guilty, or whatever. So yeah, I think that those people are our greatest teachers. And again, we cannot blame them. We attracted them into our lives.
Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, that stung. That stung big time. Oh, I know it did. Oh, so if people are showing you that you're not good enough, that you have a belief system, that you're being triggered, that, I don't know, you're in victimhood, this is happening to me, they are confirming your internal belief, your internal patterns and they are teaching you an awareness, teaching you
to love yourself,
to self-love and to self-regulate, you know, and to get those self-regulating tools. Find those.
And set healthy boundaries.
Oh, those boundaries. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I've got a whole girl. We could sit for hours talking about boundaries. I know I've that's one of my biggest, you know, teaching platforms when I'm doing, you know, the 16 days craziness clarity or my public. It is, but I had to learn how to set up respectful boundaries, say a respectful no, and then how to language it, because I'm a natural nurturer. I still want to nurture. I still want to love. That is a huge part of my heart. Huge. And that's one of my best moral values. It's a being of love and nurturing. However, I do it now from a boundary standpoint. I stay in my lane. And if somebody shows up in my life that is going to try and cross that boundary, I'm going to be like, oh, look at that, Sue. We got some proven, we got to teach me some more love, self-love. And it gives me another opportunity to put that boundary up.
Yep. And it's not about not willing to give love. It's not about not willing to support and serve, because I'm just like you, right?
Yes.
And it's so easily to slip over those boundaries because your heart just goes out, right? And
yes.
That's what we also see when we work with Dr. Joe. There are so many people in need there, and it's just our heart goes out even before we think, or even before we realize how tired we might be in that particular moment. And it's a great lesson for us as well. Being there is to check how we act and react and how we treat ourselves. And it's such a blessing to be with people and in such huge, intense week, right?
Yes.
Where it's just numerous opportunities to just give and give, which we do.
Yes.
Selflessly.
Completely selflessly. You have to be in that environment. I mean, you've got 1,100 people completely opening their hearts, and us as TLs being able to provide that safe environment for them. But Dr. Joe does an incredible job from the stage and teaching them. It's so powerful. So hands down powerful. We have been talking about so much, you guys. We've got about 4 more minutes. Do you have anything else that you want to add from a new perspective, new thoughts, new ideas?
You know, what's one last thing that is coming to me is really for all of us to remember there is a big difference between care and caring, which often people confuse, or how do you say that? Just confuse? Yeah. So we often feel that if we carry someone, that we show care and love. And often we take other people's burden because we love them and we want them well, or we want them to be happy or whatever. When we love someone, we just find endless reasons. But actually, by carrying it, we don't help them. We help them by being next to them and walk next to them while they're walking their path.
Holding the space.
Otherwise, we are telling them, you're not strong enough. You're not good enough. Let me do it for you.
Enabling. Oh my gosh, this is so powerful. Don't enable, because you don't teach them confidence, right?
Yes. You just unconsciously you tell them, oh, you cannot do that. Let me do that because you're not capable of doing that.
Okay, folks, did you guys just hear that? Super, super powerful. When you take over, when you care for somebody so much where you have completely taken on their burden, you are enabling the behavior, 1, but 2, you're also teaching them that they're not good enough. You're teaching them that they don't have the confidence to stand on their own 2 feet. That is so powerful with children, but it's even more substantial when you look at that in an intimate relationship too. That is really, really powerful. Thank you, Petra. We've got about 1 minute, love.
Okay. For today.
Yes, for today. Let's remind everybody how to get a hold of you. I'm going to tell everybody your website, and it is petrabrzovic.com. That's Petra's name. And Benny, would you like to honor us by saying her full name for us?
Brzovic.
Petra Brzovic.
That's the last name, of course. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Please, you guys, your call to action. Go to her website. Give her some love. She'd love to hear from you. She's got a beautiful masterclass in March. She'd love for you to partake in that. Is that one free?
That's free.
Wow.
Yes, there are other courses and retreats and stuff on the website that you can go and take a look at. But this masterclass is free, so you can start working on yourself from 1st of March on. So you can choose your starting date and just join us, and I'll be there to guide and lead. So it's going to be fun.
I'm so excited. Well, this has been an absolutely juicy love show about boundaries and not being enough and what you're attracting in your life. It's been great. You guys, I will see you next week. We are doing live call-in shows with myself and Nadine. But until then, each of you are a gift. Get out there and share yourself with the world.
If you like the show, help more people find us by adding your review of the show on iTunes. The more reviews we get, the more people we can reach with this inspiring message on the Gratitude Cafe. Simply search for Gratitude Cafe in iTunes, hit subscribe, and add your honest review. It would help us immensely and we'll be forever grateful. It's one of the best ways you can give back to the show with your review. Thanks for tuning in to the Gratitude Cafe. Don't forget, every week is a new show, and you could submit your questions at SueLundquist.com/Gratitude Cafe. The show goes live at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in Seattle on Seattle's Alternative Talk AM 1150. You can also call in to the show at 425-373-5527 or 888-298-5569. Find the live streaming link at SueLundquist.com/Gratitude Cafe. We'll see you next week. The preceding audio was via a Skype call.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of KKNW, its management, or other advertisers. Contests are the responsibility of the host of this program.